Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Tuesday, October the 5th. And we're starting with the ASX here. Now, we've been looking at US and perhaps the European markets in this particular fashion. They're all in a wave 4, okay? So they're all moving together, and we're kind of in the last leg here. And what we're working with is a market or pattern rather, that's in 3 waves here. So we're looking at it as a double zigzag. So an ABC is a zigzag, and this is a double zigzag because then we've got another one over here with an A and a B and a C. I'm a little bit sure where to put the B wave onto this one or this one for this. So I'll need to get a bit of strategy in here for traders to understand which direction to take. But the overall picture is to the downside. We have seen CBA pop to the upside. The other banks didn't follow that, so we'll just need to see how CBA settles today as well. But the general trend is down. We can see that also this number here is important, 7,300, because it's kind of the support, or tried to get support, and plonked on through and came up and tried to manage the support but didn't do it, dropped back down, retested it here, retested it again here. So all we really need is to see a bit of weakness today, and then that should follow through. Obviously the 7,000 is a big number, but we talked about the 6,900 as well yesterday. So yeah, so let's go in and have a little look at this a bit closer. So this is kind of where we were yesterday. We were looking for, let me just clean things up a little bit here. We were looking for an ABC rally to take us back into the box. It went to the box, and that's sort of where it is now. Now, I'm not sure if we should put the A wave over here for this and these sorts of things. So I'm a little bit unsure about how to label this. I need to sort of ponder on it. But what I was thinking, this is just another way to look at it as well. So we've got our X wave up here. We've got 5 waves down for our A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C for the B wave over here. We could look at this as down for 1 and back for 2. But what we would need to see, what I'm a little bit concerned about, is having a B wave over here and then having a C wave over here and going up another notch. So I'm thinking that all we need to see here now with this is we just need to see a break below here, right? And then that would tell me that this is like, this would be and I think that's going to be the case anyway, because I think here we can look, there's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 4 and 5. So we'll come down to 7,100 as the bounce. Okay, so you could probably get closer to the market on this as well. Let's just have a little look in here. You could probably get onto this one here. There will be support. Let's just get our levels in, because it's all about the price. So that's the top of group 2 at 80, and then we've got 65 in here. So group 2 is 65. You can sharpen that up, and 72. So get the 2 there somewhere. 172. That should do the trick. So you can use that 72 to add to the position on the short side as well, because once that becomes the resistance, there won't be any looking back at that point. We don't need these things. Yeah, and besides that, of course, is that 7.3. Let's just give that a bit of definition there, and we'll drop that down to 7.2, because that's where this is all about. So another way to look at it is that for day traders, you could look for the 7.2 as the resistance, and then look down from that point. So we could look, you might get something simple like this if that's the 72. So the market's above it at the moment. If it drops through and comes back, then just sort of tuck under any lows that you can see in here to as a trigger. It may push back up above the level there. That's the most common thing. So to push back above the level. So yeah, just allow it to be, but you just use your reference points. Whatever happens, that's a reference point, that's a reference point, that's a reference point, and then just work with those. And yeah, I mean, it's like everything. You have to do your hours to, you know, understand the subtleties of things. But yeah, it's trying to find that as support, and you can look for a classic trading levels pattern to come under here, go back and test it, and if you've tested it there, you can look for the short trade under that low, and then also under this low here as well for that, under that 72. And then of course you've got your midpoint at that point, which is your 150, so that's going to be important, and then the top of group 1, so that will be the 30. We can just dump that for a moment, copy that, put that there. So minor level 1, that's going to obviously have some support as well. You can put the other levels in here, 2 and 3 in there, but that's what I would do if I was looking to short this to the downside. I mean, that support there at the moment is probably coming from 78.6 square root. Yes, that's okay. So yeah, it's quite deep, but you know, this looks like an unfinished impulse wave to the downside to me, so let's just see how that plays out. Yeah, so that's that, and let's just have a look at the banks. I mean, CBA, I don't know why, I haven't read the news or anything, why that popped up there. It hasn't made a new high here. I was expecting it to come down, but it's left me with 3 waves here, so that's a little bit sort of unusual, but I don't want to go long here because I don't have support on the 105. Okay, so that's what I want to wait for, and so I'm not sure what occurred there, but it didn't show up in ANZ, so it wasn't really across the board. I mean, it did move up, did show up actually, that's not true, it did show up there. So let's just keep an eye on these for a moment, and let's just so it's, yeah, still look for these to come lower, and the ASX to come lower, and the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ to come lower as well. So let's just see what's holding them up here. Let's give them a session or two to sort themselves out. I mean, that was higher, but it was on lower volume than the previous day. So that's something, so corrective. Okay, now over to, well, I think China's on a holiday, isn't it? I mean, the futures market will be going, but I noticed the iron ore market hasn't really moved either. So they must be on one of their weekly holidays. I'm not sure which one, but nothing sort of happening there. India is still, you know, it's just, I mean, it's a reasonable correction for the 18, but I'd expect bigger. So we'll just see how this goes. Let me just have a look at the BSE here for a moment. This is the BSE. Oh, this has got kind of a different pattern, isn't it? Oh, there definitely can be more ups. Oh no, 1 and 2, and have to look at this as 3 and 4 here. But what have we got here? 1, 2, we could look at all that as 1. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's a 5th wave, unless we want to look at that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. That's hit 6,000, so that's not going anywhere. So yeah, look, you know, markets are trends and corrections of different degrees, and this is a long trend, and this is a big number. It's likely to, you know, to continue to stick here for a while with that. So nothing really. I just want to see more pattern there before I start looking at that again. It's not of high interest to me at this point. So that takes us over to the commodities and some commodity stocks and some dollar and those sorts of things. So let's go into iron ores. There's no one home today on that China exchange, and nothing I can do about that. So the next one is gold. Okay, so we have a look at gold. So this is just the tick chart. I'll just stay with the tick chart. You know that we've got wave B here, and then we're looking for 5 waves up to go to wave C. Now the 5 waves up will be wave 1 here, and then an ABC back for wave 2, and then going up for 3, 4, and 5. So in the first instance here, we have 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and I was looking at this as wave 4 yesterday, but we just didn't really get 5 waves up here for that, you know. I suppose we could look at it as 5 waves. I could get 5 waves out of that. Maybe that is correct. Maybe it is. Maybe it is indeed. But this looks, I could get corrective out of that. I could see how it looks. I mean, for this to be wave 5, we could look at it as 1 here, ABC for wave 2, a 3 here, and then an A and a B and a C for 4 and up for 5 here. So we could have wave 5 of 1 here. And then back for wave 2. So, and it's nice and sharp. Let me just have a little look inside this. Yeah, it's 5 waves really. If we look at this as 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave and 5th wave. So it's more likely to be, I mean, I'll mull it over. I'll put this over here, but it just doesn't look quite right, you know. So yeah, so our wave 4 got a bit bigger and uglier, but everything's still intact. So 1, 2, 3, A, B, C for 4, and then we're going up for wave 5. So we can look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and back for 2 here. I'm not sure which is 2, but we'll just have to, there's probably this one. Anyway, I need to resolve that, but it doesn't matter. This is still wave 3, and this is an ABC for wave 4 here. So that can go there maybe. I'll have to just check on that as well. That looks impulsive to the upside. So a little bit of work to do here, but all in all, we still need to get a high above wave 3 here, right? So somewhere up here, we'll be looking for wave 5 of 1 here. So if you want to take some money off the table, I'm going to tighten the stop up. If you want to take some money off the table, then the 1780, anywhere above the 72 here. Oh, in fact, you know, I don't know. I'll leave that over there. I'll let you figure that out. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably, maybe it'll get to 775, you know. But I'll leave that up. But you should take a little bit off at that point. But don't get upset if it keeps going and blame me. It's all woulda, coulda, shoulda stuff, isn't it, really? So you just got to take the next logical step with everything. But everything being equal, we should see, you know, this wave 5 shouldn't be that long. You know, I mean, that's kind of long enough into that space. And then we're going to see some sort of ABC pattern. You may want to hold that, you know, depending on, you know, if you've got leverage, then it's not a good idea to hold because you're paying, you know, you're paying for that. And if you're trading ETFs and things, you know, they've just still got further to go down, you know. I'll have a look at, just to give you an idea, this is where's Newcrest Mining. So with Newcrest Mining here, just keeping it really simple, and I haven't pulled it all apart or anything, but from wave 4 here, say, down to wave 5 here, we don't even have wave 4 here yet. So we're in it's probably probably even further down, actually. Be something like that. I'll need to do some work on this trend here to figure it out, but I'm just thinking that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into here. I don't know, some sort of corrective move. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So there's still a long time to go down here. And I'm thinking that when these lows come in for stocks, be it Newcrest or ABX or GDX and all that, when these lows come in, then in the triangle pattern that we have, we would still need to see, you know, we're going up for wave 3, 4 and 5 for wave D here. We'd still need to get over here. So I think that when this occurs here, then gold stocks will be ready to buy at that point as well. So yeah, I mean, when's that? Next year? That's in the future. Something like that. So yeah, a while to go. We need the US dollar to top out as well on that. But let's just continue our little journey here for a moment. Crude oil still pushing up, so that'll push up to 8 up through there. And silver, yeah, I think silver's going to push up. Yesterday we talked about my mistakes here, and possibly from wave 4 here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. We are getting 5 waves up there, and now we're breaching those 5 waves, so that's what we were looking for there. That looks like it wants to push up further. This move down here is corrective, so we've still got further to go up there. Can I extend that out at all? I mean, what I'm thinking here is, do I need to put this wave 5 onto that low and then look at this being wave 1 here on this move, and this is 3 and 4 and 5 in line with gold a little bit more. So shall we do that? I think that might be kind of sensible in a way. Might not be the right thing to do, but let's just pretend that it is for a moment. Let's go into denial and everything else. So because I just see how that finishes here as a 3rd wave, a 4th and a 5th. It just looks better to me like that. And then it makes sense that this would be in the same vein as gold. So that means that we can push up here for that. So if you want to take profit on that there, that's fine. Then we'll get some sort of ABC back again, and then a push up. So if you've bought here, and I think that we can go for the longer haul, that will all be cool. So we can expect wave 3 to be a bit longer perhaps. We'll see how that plays out. And wave 5, at that point, I might need to upgrade these to the next level. So won't go into that now, but I'll just make a start. Then I know that I need what I need to do. So, I mean, it's the same count. We just need to lift them up to the next. If I do that one there, that's enough. And that means that I need to push that over there and that to there. Anyway, no change. So we can just keep building in, we can build in on the top here. We can also build in over here on top of this. This is the one here. That 2-3 is support. That makes it all good at that point. Because getting support at number 3 will send us to number 5. Number 4 in the middle won't give us much of a problem. Okay, moving on to copper. I think is copper next. Copper will do. So with copper here, let's just go to the daily chart. I think there's something else even bigger and more boring happening here. So let me clean this up a little bit. So what we need to do here is, I know I've got enough there, but I think what I need to do is to move that, that, an A and a B and a C and a D and an E for the B, and then a C over here for that. And then I don't need that. So yeah, some sort of triangle thing happening here for wave B, and then down for wave C. So we need to finish off up here, then we need to come down here, then we need to do that, and then we need to do that. Should be quite short at that point, and then we can go up. So just, was that on the tick chart or the hourly chart? Let me just check the hourly first. Okay, so this is it here. So the A wave here, and then we got 3 waves here, we got 3 waves here, then we're looking at an A and a B and a C here for the C wave, 3 for the D, 3 for the E, and then down here for that, which will probably drop. Sometimes wave I was thinking about wave E then on the downside on the bearish. It doesn't matter. It's just a subtlety thing that I noticed. It's not sort of in the book, but it's not apparent in this case. So we'll see this being a triangle, see this drop down here. I don't think it will drop too far, you know, because we're already at the 38.2% retracement level down here somewhere, and these legs here will all be in 3 waves as well, so I could just do these here. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here to push up into this 500 here, and then we'll look for an ABC pattern here, and then there'll be another ABC pattern here, and then there'll be 5 waves in that move there. Be something like that. So we're pretty much tied up there for the time being, and I'll come back to the DXY. We've been taking gas on board, and I think that's a good thing. So energy here, NG, it does look a bit corrective. We did have this on the daily chart. I think it was a daily chart. Was it this? Yeah. So we counted this up here as wave 1, ABC for 2 here, and then from 2 going up to 3 up here, we're looking at 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So I'm thinking the top of the 3rd wave, so we can come back to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree. It does look like that first move down is corrective, so let's just go in and have a little look at that on the 15-minute chart or something. Let's get some sort of idea on that. Not a very nice 5 waves to finish that. I wonder if that's the top. Anyway, we know that there's global problems with energy at the moment. So I'll just need to double check that top. Yeah, which is the top. Okay, I'll have to do work here. But it looks like it wanted to go up at this point, but I'm expecting it down. That's why I was a bit sort of shocked that it would made that high there. But okay, I'll have to do some work on this. But in a nutshell, just coming back to our daily chart, I'll look at that on the weekend. Just give it a bit of time. So in a nutshell, we're still going to see gas move up higher, right? So we've got wave 3 here. We're looking for an ABC to come back to the level of this wave 4 here, and then wave 5 up for wave 3. That could go higher. We need to look at that, probably 720 or even 8, and because that's the next level to the upside. If we just clone that, definitely in the future, we're talking about cloning, aren't we? So 3 and 4, that will probably be up there further. We could probably shove that up there further as well, and that could go higher, maybe up to the 8 at that point without any problems. So yeah, we need to do some work on this, but it's kind of where we are, and the main reason for this, it means that Australian stocks that are in the energy section. So we've got Woodside here, as we discussed yesterday. What we could do here, I mean, you can go long, it's not a problem. You just need to hold it through. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Then we'll have a pullback. Will it pull back this far? I don't know. It might just come back and cover that gap or something of that nature. And Santos is the same as well with its move here. So we're just looking for the first 5 waves up, the pullback, and we'll get the pullback. But if you want to go long in a small way, that's all good. And OSH is the same as well, oil stock here. We're seeing crude push up. So anyway, we'll just keep an eye on these. The ones that I like, this is the China Petroleum here. As I mentioned before, we've had this move all the way down, and then we've got a nice 5-wave structure here with an ABC here. So finding support on 50 would be a nice move to the upside. Let's just have a look at CVX, which is US here, doing the same thing as well. So we'll probably have to look at these as, yeah, these moves here would be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 at this point, because if they're going to be moving up through here further, then that's what they'll be looking like. So this is corrective, this is CVX. So yeah, if you're looking for long-term trends, these are the stocks, right? There will be more, and we can have a look at those a bit later. So I've only just started bringing the gas on. So I'll leave it at that. Now that's the commodity. So I just want to have a look back again with this chart. We want to have a look at the US dollar, which may have a bit of a top in actually. Let's just go over this on the daily chart. It's a little bit messy, but hang in there with me. So we were looking at wave 3 being here. We're looking at all this as the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave up here for wave 4. So this wave 4 can go over here. Now, if the market's going to push past my little, as an A and a B and a C wave here, if the market's going to push past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and push past the C wave, then we're going to have to look at this as this whole move up as the A wave, then a B wave and a C wave, and we'll have to put wave 4 over here to this wave 3 to wave 4 here, and then a truncated 5th wave down on this low here, and then we'd be looking for a bigger correction that would move up to the 98 area at that point and holding up here longer. So it's all about counting this little guy up through here. So I've got it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here and 5 here, and as time goes on this count doesn't look right as we go on. But what I wanted to do from wave 4 here up to wave 5 here somewhere, this wave 5, I wanted, and this was our target area here in this grey box here, that was the wave 4, 1 lesser degree and so on in there. So we wanted to see it, if it was going to fail, we need to see it fail. From wave 4 here to wave 5 here, we need to have a look at 5 waves in here. And after the 5 waves, then anything higher up, then we would have to, look at a much larger correction to the upside. That would also put pressure on the other currencies, of course, to the downside if we move past that. So it's kind of splitting hairs at the moment. So let's just go to the 4-hour chart for a moment and just have a look at this. There's some things I understand and some that I don't. So from this wave 4 here, I understand that we can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's okay and easy for me to count, and 2 here. And then I can look at wave 3 being here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4. So I understand 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And this move up through here as wave 5, I can see that it can be interpreted in different ways, so I'd need to really pull it apart and rebuild it, and I just haven't had the time for that. But what I have found interesting is that the current move down through here, it appears to be in 5 waves, so that's kind of bearish. I mean, that is bearish to a point. It could just be an A wave, but also too, if I take this last move up through here, it's come down to the 50%. So if it was a wave 4, I'd have to take wave 4 from some trend in here somewhere, at least at that point. So then that would bring wave 4 down to 61.8%. So there's a good chance there's a top in play here for this. Now, we've looked at calling tops in before, and we've started off with our little 5 waves here. So we just need to see, if we get 5 waves down here, then we'll get a correction, and then we'll get another 5 waves down. So that's what I'm thinking. But does that make it the top at that point? So if I go to, I just want to clear this off now. So let's go to the 15-minute chart. So I don't have all the answers for the trend coming up here. I mean, this wave 4 I understand, but this move through here I haven't solve the problem of, you know, what the count is on that. But what I noticed this morning was that we can look at this sharp move down as wave 1 here, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 2 at that point. And then I can see here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, a bit dodgy, but for the third wave, and then the fourth wave here. I don't know if the fifth wave here is finished because it looks like one. I can see 1 and 2 and 3 here. It might be a 4 and a 5 down to here. So I'm not that fast. We can allow that to finish. But if that's 5 waves, we should have a correction back to the box here, roughly back to 94 somewhere, and then another 5 waves down. So that means that we're going to see, you know, all the crosses, the pairs, you know, be, because of this move here, we're going to see them be positive to the upside. Yeah, so we've got something to build off here. But if we get 5 waves here, for instance, then we can get another 5 over here, but that doesn't mean that it's bearish, because all of this can be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. And is there different ways to count this here? Can we? I think that's okay for the A wave and a B wave here. And it's hard to get 5 waves out. It was hard to see what that is in there. So I'm just assuming that, you know, because if that sat up there, for instance, I don't see 5 waves down here, but otherwise that could be down for 1, back for 2, 3, 4, 5 as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down to here or down to here for that. So there's a bit more to go just yet, but I thought that was interesting. So that means that we're going to see things like the Australian dollar firm up here. So I was thinking that, you know, I know on our website we can count this down as corrective, but I can also see too that it's 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5. So I want to see how this reacts back to from that high to that low here. I want to see what it looks like at the 61.8% in the box. I want to see what that move looks like when it gets there. We're far from being free to trade at this moment, I think, because we could see this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave back to here as wave 4 and then down. We could also see this here down as wave 1 here, and back for wave 2, and down for wave 3, 4, and 5. So there's a bit to go here just yet. So I'm not going to rush into that. So that's the currency side of the situation, and we've looked at the commodities. So we need to look at the stocks. So one of the things is BHP in the US. Now, BHP in the US has given us this B wave here, where we don't have that on. We don't have it on Fortescue. I don't think we don't have it on Australian BHP. All we have on Australian BHP is this being the top here and looking at 5 waves to the downside. So in this case, we could look at it as an A and a B and a C wave, but in the Australian market, we can't see it like that. All I can do is count 5 waves down, so that leaves it in a bit of a different situation. So looking at it, see, in this situation, we've got this as the high. You know, maybe I could look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, but it's a bit elongated for that. So all I can do is count the 5 waves down through here. We may or may not have a low in here, just in play in this space here. It does appear to me on the daily chart that we'll need to look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and having another move down into the 61.8%. But even so, whatever the low is there, we can go to the tick. There is a case for a low being in place, I have to say. We can look at that. But and I think that we will build into the long side, but we may just get a B wave and then a C wave here. And Fortescue is the same as well. But before we go there, we'll just go to the tick chart here and work this. Oh, I don't need... Okay, I'll just take 1,000 there. So from wave 4 here, wave 3, 4 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then down for 5. So we can count this here as 1 and 2, and then 5 waves here for the third. The fourth is a bit high, and then 1 and 2, and this will be, well, that will be 1 and 2 here, and that will be 3 here, the third wave in here, the fourth, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the fifth of the fifth of the fifth. So we could have a low in here, and I was just sort of looking at this in ways that could be positive. So as wave 1 here and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and then the fifth wave up here, then the A, the B, and the C wave here. So we can go long above this high here, but I wouldn't shovel too much into that. When we have a look at, if I go back to the daily chart here just for a moment, and then we'll just have a look at, I mean, Rio's the same as well, so we can have a quick look at Rio. Yeah, I mean, Rio's the same, it's just a daily chart here, just counting down. I still think there's another move down here. I know that we could look at this as being wave 1 here, and being along here would be fine, but yeah, I mean, here we'd probably have to count down as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So if this pops up here, then we'll look at going, if we got a nice support on the 100, we're going to look at going long. But the market has sunk into that number, into the mud. It hasn't really just come down and touched it and bounced strongly from there. So the demand is weaker there. It's it's a reflection of the iron ore market. So on FMG, we're just having a look at it in the bigger picture today, the weekly chart. And with the weekly charts here, now there's some of this that counts really nice. Like from here, we can count this as 1 and 2, and then we've got a nice third wave up here, fourth wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the fifth of the third. So we've got a nice 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here. I could never really count a nice 5-wave structure within this, but I can see we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here. So, and it just sort of takes the top there a little bit. The extensions in the third wave, wave 1 and wave 5 are roughly the sort of same-ish in a way. But do we look at this as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave down here? I find it a little bit difficult, because then I don't get the rest of my picture in here, as 1 and 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll just have to be careful. I'll keep playing with it, but once this lands here, we'll have to be careful to see if we get a B wave up here, and then a C wave. We need to see what we get. I don't know, we just need to be careful. We're going to be buying down here once we get the information that we need. But yeah, I'm just pointing out this B wave situation here for all of this. Okay, I think that's it. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.